Dre Kirkpatrick, #1 corner in the nation, #4 player in the United States. Dre Kirkpatrick has the ability to change the game at any moment. It's been a pleasure being able to coach him. As Coach Estes and Coach Smith both will agree. This time we'll turn it over to Dre Kirkpatrick and his family.
Well, first off, I want to thank God, you know what I'm saying, truly hell of my life. I want to thank my coaches, all my family, everybody in here, all the fans that supported Gas City, all these great players around me, my mom and dad. But, you know, everybody here to see me choose my school, and this hat right here, it ain't got no sweater, so I'm going to get some sweater. Open it. Y'all ready? Alabama.
All right, Dre, there's the big moment there. The #1 quarterback in the nation deciding to suit up, not for the Texas Longhorns, but for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Dre, what was the deciding factor? I believe you said Texas did not have enough swagger. Can you explain that?
Oh, no, man. You know, just something that I want to show off with it. But, you know, Texas is a great school. You know, I love that school, and I love Coach Muschamp, Coach Brown, Coach Aquino, Coach Applewhite. I love everybody out there at Texas. But, you know, I couldn't go out there, you know what I'm saying, and my home state got the same thing to offer, and they couldn't offer nothing better, so, you know, that's why I chose to stay at home.
Now, with your commitment, Dre, all 6 of the players from Alabama in the ESPNU 150 are staying home in-state with the Alabama Crimson Tide. What is it that Nick Saban is doing with this program to get all you guys to stay in-state with the Tide?
Well, for one, he's recruiting our parents, and if you get the mom, you know what I'm saying, she gonna wear off on the child, so that's how I came up with my decision.
All right, Mom.
Now, Dre, how do you figure to factor into the equation one season ahead as a true freshman as you get set to head on campus at T-Town?
Well, you know, everybody want to come in and play early, but first off, you got to get healthy, so if I ain't healthy, you know what I'm saying, I ain't ashamed to get redshirted, so I'll be ready to play whenever I can.
Now, when you talk about health, you're talking about your shoulder, which you recently had surgery on. What's the latest with the health of that shoulder?
Well, you know, I just recently had surgery last Thursday, and, you know, just healing, you know, going through the rehab, going through with all the doctors. You know, I'll be ready to come game time.
Now you're going to go on campus, and you're going to go up and practice against Julio Jones, one of the top freshmen in the entire nation one season ago. What do you think you can learn from going up to him day in and day out in those practices at Alabama?
Well, you know, one thing I can say about me and everybody in this room, though, I ain't scared of Julio.
Well, there you have it right there, Dre Kirkpatrick. What are we going to expect? 1 year from now when you're on campus in Alabama, what are we going to be saying about this freshman out of Gadsden, Alabama?
What y'all going to be saying about a freshman? Roll Tide.
Dre Kirkpatrick stealing the show on this National Signing Day. Thank you so much for coming on, Dre, and good luck in Tuscaloosa.
All right, man. Thank you.
And a huge moment for Dre Kirkpatrick, his friends and family, and for the Alabama Crimson Tide. With this now, they have absolutely cleaned up in the state of Alabama. All 6 of the kids from that state in the ESPNU 150 are signing up to play with Nick Saban at Alabama. What does the commitment and signature that's coming up from Dre Kirkpatrick do to Bama as far as moving them up the top 25?
Well, obviously now they've gone into contention with some other teams that are obviously having great years as well. Florida, Georgia,
Miami is certainly up there, Ohio State, Texas. You know, at the end of the day, as we start really looking at these things, many things are going to come into the equation. Who's going to get into school and who's not? Who is oversigned? Who's going to be able to qualify academically? Are there some injury situations that could affect it? Are there some late qualifiers or postgraduate kids within the class? But obviously, it's a significant sign in the right direction. Remember, Nick Saban specifically works with the defensive secondary, so that's got to be quite the recruiting tool when you're a guy like Dre Kirkpatrick that can play in the defensive secondary and have that type of toolage on the recruiting trail. This is something that I think everybody expected to see, but it's at a critical position. The corner position is a critical. It's like defensive lineman. It's like quarterback. So I think that's why it's so important.
Coach, during your time at Auburn, you recruited Dre Kirkpatrick to try to get him to sign up for the Auburn Tigers. Now with him going to Alabama, we see what Nick Saban has done with his Crimson Tide program. The way the Tide is rolling, no cliche intended with that, how tough is it going to be to derail what they are doing right now out on that trail?
Well, it's tough, and you know, for years there we were able to get our share out of the state, and since Nick's been there, it's been tough. But Auburn has always lived off players also from Alabama, but also go to Georgia and Florida. You got to do that. Even Alabama has to do that. You can't. There's about 15 players in the state every year in the state of Alabama, so you have to spread your wings, as every school does in the state, in the conference.
What is it about kids in the state of Alabama and how they feel about football that puts such a importance on going to one of the big two, like Auburn or Alabama?
Well, most have grown up SEC fans. There's very good coaching in high school football in the state of Alabama, and there's a lot of competition. But you know, when you grow up in that state, either you're an Auburn fan or you're an Alabama fan. It's cut and dried from day one. And you know, we worked hard on Dre and Kendall the times we were there, and all the players in the state, but it's hard to beat Nick the way he's got it rolling now.
Does the shoulder concern you at all? He mentioned having that surgery going on. Maybe he plays as a freshman, maybe he doesn't. Well,
he's had that problem for the last couple of years, and I'd talked to him about it, about, you know, how long you think you can go without having it fixed, and I guess recently he decided to go ahead and have it fixed, to get it over with, and he'll be fine. You know, it's just, you got to do great rehab. Shoulders have become a big problem in college football and pro football in the last few years because you use your arms and so much weight lifting. These kids start lifting weights when they're 8, 9 years old, so they wear those rotator cuffs out. But he'll be fine, and you know, he's a good football player.